Yeah, let me pop it on, see what happens, huh? Sure. Give her a little spin. Ah. There we... Hey, that's pretty good. Hippity hop, wop, bop, doo wop. I'm Commander laying down a rap. I'm very cool and real funky. I'm your favorite weird film junkie. Get down with some nasty scratch and dig the rap I'm about to hatch. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, I'm glad. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, he's bad. I'm Commander, I ain't no jerk. See me on USA Network. I'm Commander, I love to play and show groovy movies on a weekend day. Do the fly. I never get low, I never get blue. I pick great flicks just for you. Some of those films give me a jolt as I watch real close in the video vault. Monsters and mummies, the fair's quite hefty. Sometimes get down with my good pal Lefty.
He's the Commander, he ain't no jerk. See him on USA Network.
I'm the Commander, I love to play and show groovy movies on a weekend day. Whoa! Health tips, cooking, commander scopes, letters from my fans, experiments and other stuff. It all excites my glands. Look for Abel Salazar. Watch out for the bug. Get down with your Aztec self. Don't you be no slug. I'm just happy to get the work.
He's the Commander, he ain't no jerk. He's just happy to get the work.
I'm Commander, and there ain't no way I'd ever miss a weekend day.
He's the Commander, there ain't no way he'll ever miss a weekend day.
Hey, come on, Lefty. Let's take 5 and slide, huh, pal? Oh, hey. Whoa. Talk about a complete kid, huh?
You this time, pal.
Billy, look, we'd better go. It's awful late.
Why? Today we'd play hooky and you want to go already. You're just an old scaredy cat.
That's the first time I ever did it.
Well, all right, you did it, and anyway, it's really not very dark yet, you know.
Well, you can stay here all night long. I gotta be going.
All alone? Guess you wouldn't. Come on. Come on, you'll get lost.
Billy! What's in there?
I don't know.
Let's go look.
Well, come on.
all these things the papers are saying?
It's best to believe what they're saying. Those stories that those two children told, and the description they gave of the hunchback, caused me to suspect that Nostradamus did not die after all.
But that can't be the case, Professor. I remember when all that dirt completely covered the man, sir. I saw him buried under it.
But you're forgetting about his servant, Tony. Just think a second. The hunchback could have dug him up and hidden him.
Do you think the inspector's suspicious, Father?
I couldn't say, my dear. I don't know. But if he did dig out the truth, he surely won't tell anyone just to avoid being ridiculed, Anna. The most unfortunate thing is that Nostradamus is still alive.
Why not forget this whole thing, Papa? That monster's capable of anything.
Pardon me, Professor. Thomas Wilkinson is here.
My dear friend Thomas, come in, come in.
I'm most pleased to see you, Professor. Good morning, Anna. Anthony, how are you today?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Well, now, Thomas, it's a pleasant surprise to have you pay us a visit.
Well, I'm here to tell you something embarrassing, Professor. And I'd hate to,
We understand, sir. Don't worry about it. We better go. I'll be back later.
Make yourself comfortable. Take a seat.
Just doing a little gardening here. Lefty said he was gonna come by and help me out, but I haven't seen him Whoa! Hey, wait a minute. Oh, holy cat! Whoa! Oh, hey, Lefty! What? I told you about going underground, didn't I? Yeah, we'll get back to the monster demolisher in just a minute. No, it doesn't.
The directors of the committee that is fighting superstition decided to call a meeting to study the facts in your particular case, Professor.
A meeting to study my case? Why should they do that?
They're angry, Professor. Since your name has begun to appear in several papers bringing to light the scandalous things you're saying, related to vampires and monsters, magical rites, all unacceptable to society.
But isn't it inevitable that I scandalize a few? The committee has to do the job it was assigned. Combat superstition with all the means that are known to it.
That's true. But your activities are really not helping our cause at all. The truth is that they're creating a series of confused speculations that might turn into something quite serious and most dangerous.
Please get to the point. I'd like to know exactly what the committee is asking.
They simply want to see your information, including details. They're interested in the things people are saying, and naturally they'd like to know if there's a basis. The members are most confused, and they'd like to get some things clear. Things that they consider strange. They're beginning to fear that you're no longer capacitated to be president of our committee. I must be going. Oh, I'm sorry I'm so forgetful.
Is there something else?
Yes. A gentleman last night. He gave me this letter for you, sir. He asked me to bring it here in person because he knows I come here.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it.
Professor Dolan. All that I promised is going to come true. And so the next one is Peter Madison at 34 East Center Street, Nostradamus. Good day. I am Professor Dolan. And this young man is Anthony Swain, my secretary.
It's a pleasure.
Could you tell Mr. Madison that we are here? There's something he must know, and it's quite urgent.
I'm sorry, sir. But my husband died a long time ago.
I'm not sure I heard you clearly.
Was it an accident?
No, sir, it wasn't. You see, my husband suddenly fell very ill. A month later, he was gone.
I'm sorry we had to come here like this and cause you to remember your tragedy.
I'm back, Mama.
This is my son. Have you lost your tongue, dear?
I'm very glad to know you.
It's a pleasure to know you, son.
Allow me to congratulate you, Mrs. Madison. You have a very handsome boy. But we won't be bothering you any longer.
But I still don't know why you asked for my husband just now.
We're sorry to have intruded, but I think we were misinformed. And we imagined that your husband was still alive.
Excuse us, please.
Goodbye, son.
Good evening, Professor.
Just what are you doing here? Are you trying to frighten me?
No. I'll extend you another opportunity. Are you going to do as I said, Professor? You remember I asked you to revindicate the memory of my illustrious ancestor.
It's useless to go on repeating such a preposterous idea. You're wasting your effort. You'll get nothing.
I think you know how many are doomed to die later on because one man stupidly goes on resisting.
You know I can't forget such a thing. But this time, you're not going to go through with it. You've made a mistake, sir.
Are you quite sure, Professor? Peter Madison, who is the next victim, will die before the week's out.
You're quite mistaken. Peter Madison is dead. We talked to his widow this morning. You're powerless to attack him as you attacked and killed the others. That is, unless you can resuscitate him again, employing your powers to satisfy your madman's impulse for killing.
My dear sir, it is not at all difficult. But that is not his destiny. I'll kill Peter Madison, Jr.
Don't ask me why I insist upon this right now, but allow me to repeat again that in my opinion, your son should remain in our custody.
Try to have faith in us. This is serious.
If anyone else asks this, Professor, I tell all the neighbors that a madman was loose. Peter can stay in your custody.
You're not going to be sorry you decided to do this. Soon we'll eliminate the danger, and he'll be back home with you again.
There's no way I can thank you for all you're doing for us.
You're about to do a job that you'll find agreeable.
Anything you say, Master.
This boy called Peter is well protected now that he's staying at the professor's house. Only in spite of what they've planned, I'll use certain measures and we'll get to him.
Yes, sir, but do you think it'll be easy?
Yes, Leo. Now listen, do you know the professor's daughter?
No. I haven't seen her, sir.
Come then, you'll be shown. Look at her. Your only job, Leo, is to kidnap the girl and bring her here. An extremely lovely girl. Imbecile! Go for her now and take care. And you mustn't fail, Leo.
Oh, hey. Yeah, you caught me here, huh? Oh, no, this is one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, coloring. I learned this at camp one summer. Oh, yeah. He taught us how to make baskets and little rope-soled shoes and how to color and you stay right inside the lines. Oh, yeah, that's my favorite part. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. Sure, look at that. Yeah, this is something, you know, it's from Tony Russell in Springfield, Vermont. Oh, yeah, got it in the mail. Yeah, it's been coming in like wildfire. He drew this picture and told me I could color it in all by myself. Hey, thanks, Tony. Yeah, I enjoy it, sure. Hey, listen. Want to write to the commander? Ah, heck, it's easy. Here, look at this. Just write, the Commander, USA. Post Office Box 3966, New York, New York, 10185. Oh, yeah, it's easy. Sure. Whoops. There we go.
Has anything happened?
It's only you, Professor. No, nothing at all. But don't worry about it. I don't think he'll dare to come here.
Let's hope he doesn't. I'll be doing my work downstairs. So if you need anything, just call me, please.
Is Anna there, Professor?
She's sleeping like a child. I'm sure there's no danger for the time being, at least.
Did you hear? Yes, Professor. It was Anna. Well, come, let's hurry. She's not here. Look there, Professor. That hunchback's kidnapping her.
Don't fire, Anthony. You might hit my daughter.
Take care of her, Professor, while I go after him.
Peter. Peter, listen to me. But I can't talk to you then. Come here. Your mama said she wanted you.
My mama?
Yes. I came for you. I'll take you to where she is.
This is the ugliest old house I ever saw. Aren't you afraid to live in it?
No. Do you mean you're scared?
No, because you'll take care of me, won't you?
Why, of course, son.
Mister, are you a friend of the professor?
Yes, I should say that he and I have much in common.
Who is that man?
Did you carry out my orders?
I'm sorry, I couldn't bring her here.
Why, you idiot!
I wasn't to blame.
Go get her!
Oh, hey, there you are. Oh, just in time. Yeah, making myself a great new treat here. These are called Clover Donuts, boy, and it's brand new. Oh, yeah, easy to do, too, and a whole lot of fun. See, what you do is you take your basic plain donut, just like this. Then you pick up some clover icing. Now, you can buy this commercially, or heck, you can have your favorite cow make some for you. Now, you want to get that spread nice and evenly all over your donut. Oh, and these really turn out wonderful, boy. Oh, yeah, now, take a look at that. It's looking good already, isn't it? Sure. Now, you smooth that out so it looks presentable, you know? You get it all nice and done, and then you roll them over in the clover and do it again. Oh, yeah, this is the fun part right here. Now, you get all that clover flavoring all over, and there it goes, ready to take a bite. Yeah. Besides, they bring good luck. Yeah, eat one of these, you're gonna need it. Hey, we'll get back to the movie right after this, okay? Okay.
They used my daughter as a decoy to get to Peter.
They tried to take her, Professor. And that hunchback can obviously guide us directly to Nostradamus.
Papa, Anthony.
What's the matter?
The hunchback's here. I saw him a minute ago around the garden.
It worked, Professor. He came back here to try to get Anna. My plan mustn't fail, sir.
Come, we must hurry.
There he is, Professor. Give the signal now.
Well, let the dogs loose.
He did just as I thought, Professor. We'll follow his trail. Are you all right, Professor?
Yes, Anthony. And thank you. My life was in terrible danger.
But that hunchback got away.
Professor! Anthony! Gee, I'm glad you followed.
Peter, listen. Where are all the corpses? Oh, the man who brought you here.
In a box down this corridor.
You have to take us there.
If you wake him up, you'll make him very mad.
No, he won't have time to get mad at us now, so come on, son.
There he is, inside that crate there.
No, wait a second. Peter, listen. Are you quite sure that he's in there?
Yes, Professor. Shh. I saw him when he started to climb in there.
Help me, Professor.
You wait here, Professor. I'll pry the lid open with this thing, Professor. Hold my gun.
Put your back into it. Get beneath it.
Good evening, Professor. And how are you, Anthony? You arrived too late once again, Professor.
Hey, there you are. Yeah, I'm just checking over the Groovie Gazette here. Yeah, it's my old pal Don Pickles, sweet and sour comedian of the Catskills. Yeah, he's doing the joke of the day here. Let's see what he's got for today. Let's see, why do plain donuts get depressed? Because they have an empty feeling inside. Yeah, heck, I know that feeling. Hey, we'll get back to the movie in just a minute, eh?
Professor? Goodbye for now, Professor. We'll be seeing each other very shortly.
No doubt about it, sir. He escaped again.
It's not worth worrying about, Anthony. The important thing is that we were able to save this poor child. Bring him along. You must think I'm being very irreverent, gentlemen. But we find ourselves face to face with a reality from which we cannot nor should not hide.
This is somewhat confusing. You can be explicit, can't you, Professor? What is this reality that you just referred to?
The reality is that there is a vampire among us.
Oh, of course. It's impossible. You're treading on a very dangerous subject, so think it over a little.
Allow me to say this. Don't forget our main goal in the organization. It's to combat superstition, sir. I'm beginning to suspect that you're bent on doing just the opposite.
If you all can give me just a little time, I may prove the things I'm saying.
One moment, Professor. It could be that you alone don't realize how dangerous a situation you're in at the present time. The statements you have made are exactly the things the press has used to ridicule us.
Under the circumstances, we consider it necessary to take very drastic steps. Don't you agree, gentlemen?
Yes, I think we
Now, hold on there. Now that you're all here before me, just listen to what I want to say. I need help, and I counted on your loyalty. This discussion isn't going to straighten out anything. It certainly will benefit and aid our enemy, though. Can't you understand that we must act at once?
Act, you say? Against the vampire? Come now, Professor. Are you forgetting that we're scientists as well as you?
You're obviously trying to make us admit that there is such a monster. That's offensive, and we won't tolerate it.
Now, listen. I'll remind you that this creature, Nostradamus, whose existence you are all so stubbornly denying like a bunch of mules, has already murdered several men. And I'm sure there'll be others.
You're fancying things, that's all, Professor. The circumstances that surrounded these recent deaths are not at all supernatural. One suffocated, as you know, because he was buried alive. Unfortunately, this frequently occurs when the victim is prone to go into cataleptic trances. As far as the owner of the antique shop is concerned, it was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the man was so smitten with remorse that he committed suicide when he learned that he had killed one of his clients. Now, in the case of the policeman, no one knows where he is to this day. This, of course, doesn't prove that he is dead by any means. As for the story concerning the child who fell in the well Monday, I don't think that needs any explanation.
Come now, Professor. Did that child's fantastic story really impress you so?
Gentlemen, it's quite clear. Obviously, it's like beating my head against the wall trying to convince you that this is serious. Well, I see now I'll have to go ahead all alone and continue this fight. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. Tomorrow early, before 10 o'clock, I shall make out and turn in my resignation. I have nothing more to say.
Don't say you weren't warned earlier, Professor. All your stories seem so unfounded. Who will believe what you say later on?
What the heck is... From the desk of Nostradamus. Oh, there are vampires among us. Oh, nah, that's not true, heck. And don't worry, because I'm here to protect you anyway. You don't believe in that... Whoa! Ah! Here! Ah! Oh! Always carry your emergency garlic, eh? Oh! Hey, we'll get back to the movie right after this.
Sir, I was just handed this message at the door.
Bad luck, right, Professor? But you can change things by accepting my proposition. Do as you're told, or Joseph McTaggerson is the next man who will meet his fate. Nostradamus.
Joseph McTaggerson? But that can't be true, sir. You see, the man's a delinquent, but his nickname is Bobby the Waiter.
How do you know so much?
That's easy. 2 or 3 months ago, it was in the papers. Everyone read those stories, Anna. I think 2 gangs started warring, and he was taken in. And then I heard nothing more about the affair.
Well, good. That man's a worthless criminal.
It doesn't matter, Anna. Since he could be killed by Nostradamus, he deserves our protection.
You're quite right, Anthony. Tell me, where can I locate him?
I recall there's a certain man that for just a little money might agree to tell us where this chap is hiding.
Well, let's go speak to this person.
To One Eye? Oh, One Eye likes a place that doesn't close its doors all night long. He goes there to drink.
Anthony, are you quite sure he'll be coming here?
Don't worry, he'll be here. You see, sir, this One Eye loves money and whiskey, too.
You should know. I'd hate to have my colleagues find me here.
You shouldn't worry about appearances, Professor. The important thing now is to investigate and find Bobby the Whaler.
Were you looking for me?
Yes. Come and sit down. I need a little information, One Eye. Mainly, where can I find Bobby the Whaler? No, don't worry, One Eye. We're not police investigators.
Of course you're not. What do I get?
How about 100? That's good pay, you know.
How about adding another 100?
You win. Here's your money. Now start talking.
He's resting in jail.
In jail, you say? What did he do?
Oh, he's smart, but the law finally got him.
Well, to be quite frank, it's better, sir. As long as he's in jail, he can't escape us.
It's not that easy. Tomorrow he's getting out.
Tomorrow? Do you mean that?
In a certain way. Bobby's going to the gallows early. He murdered 2 people. Goodbye, I've got things to do.
Any ideas, Professor?
Anthony, we're going to witness that hanging. I think you'd better try to get a little rest. And just as soon as you're ready to travel to the jail, come by for me at the house. We're going to make sure that he doesn't get away. I still have some work to do now. Pay the bill.
I want the check.
I still got 2 hours to go, Warden. It's only 3 o'clock in the morning.
Joseph McTaggerson, I'm here to notify you that your pardon has been denied. Your sentence is just. I'm ordered to tell you that at dawn today you will be hanged.
Good evening, Professor.
It's you. Why are you here again?
To offer you my condolences because you couldn't get cooperation, Professor. I sincerely feel sorry for you.
I'm just starting this campaign against you. And if you suppose that just because I resigned, my hands are tied and I'll do just as you requested, you're making a great mistake, sir.
He's innocent, and yet he has to die.
Only in this case, he's not at all innocent.
Do you say that because he has killed on 2 occasions?
Why, certainly. And because the judge and jury demanded his execution. Why are you such an insatiable fiend? What are you going to gain by killing a man who's going to die anyway?
You think I don't know that? Don't forget I intend to use the man for my revenge, Professor.
hey, there you are. Yeah, just in time. Feeling a little hungry? So was I. I figured I'd make up some lunch, you know? Today's the Green Food Group Day, though, boy. Yeah, you know what that means, right? Sure. Anything that you eat today should belong to the Green Food Group. Yeah, but the trouble was, see, I felt like having a kind of a milkshake, you know? So I'm using a little ice cream there. Yeah, it's vanilla, and then a little milk. Put in my banana. And I know what you're saying, but Commander, that's not the Green Food Group. Yeah, I got you tricked, though, boy. Because in the food group, you're allowed to use food coloring. Sure, so you can still have your favorites and still make it green. Oh, yeah, this is a whole lot of fun, see? So you just add a little to that. Oh, yeah, just to taste, get it all mixed up. Oh, hey, what could look better than that? See, then you can enjoy your milkshake and still have any of your other favorite green food groups. Sure, like kelp donuts or limes or that little green thing inside the body of a lobster. You know, any of your favorites like that. Well, here's looking at you, kid. We'll get back to the movie in just a second. Okay? Okay.
Whoa. Again until tomorrow.
But he promised to reply to our request for permission to...
Hey, seems he returned today.
Ah, there you are, sir. These young men
Yes, I know what it's about. Come in. Come in, gentlemen. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm afraid I have bad news. I presented the request you made to my superiors, but they flatly refused to turn the prisoner's body over to you.
Did you explain that the interest we have in the prisoner's corpse is scientific?
Yes? I explained, but I was informed that you two are still not practicing physicians, and only licensed doctors are granted these requests.
You see, sir, we had intended to begin a new experiment. The results to be included in our theses.
Look, I'm sincerely sorry, but it's a question of my superiors, so I can't extend a permit to you. Why don't you take your request directly to the pertinent authorities?
There isn't any time for that now. You must know that. It's a difficult procedure in these cases. We need a fresh brain from a recently dead body to work on, sir.
And Bobby the Whaler's dead brain would be ideal. Our aim is to confirm the new theory that Dr. Lambert has made concerning crime patterns, showing the difference between the blood cells found in the brain when the individual is normal and the blood cells in the whaler's brain.
Very interesting theory. Only I repeat that I can't sign the permit without authorization. I hope that later on, we can really do something for you.
Well, you have been kind and would like to thank you, sir.
Goodbye and thank you.
Good night.
Good night, gentlemen.
Guard.
What rotten luck. I guess we lost the opportunity to really write a marvelous thesis.
I'm not sure.
I don't understand.
I'm just starting to get a great idea. Well, let's make plans.
Like one eye didn't fool us, Professor.
I know, but this time it seems to me that justice won against the vampire.
I confess that for a moment there, I thought we'd see Nostradamus get the upper hand and kill him before they did.
I had that feeling also. But there's no doubt about it. He failed to do as he intended.
Son, I'm afraid it's time now.
Leave
alone.
Isn't there something I can do for you before we go?
You can get out. Y'all can get out of here.
Quiet down there.
Hang me now before dawn. I want to die.
Did you hear, Father? This man is incorrigible.
Get moving, mister.
Come on. Get it finished right now, Warden. By dawn, I'll be dead. That's my fate.
Hey, we'll be back to the monster demolisher right after this, okay? Okay.
It's not worth the risk, I tell you.
I know it's dangerous, but I think we should go through with it.
If they find out, we'll go straight to jail.
Don't you want the body?
Yeah, but I...
Don't worry. They won't find out because I laid it all out perfectly. Look, after they execute the whaler, they'll be taking his corpse to the morgue.
Yeah, then they'll do an autopsy and destroy his brain.
No, they won't, Joe. They're not going to do the autopsy until early tomorrow. That's why you and I must get the cadaver away from there tonight. It'll be easy. Then once in the morgue out.
Yeah, and getting in was our main problem.
That's not going to be a problem. I swear it. We'll rent a carriage for an hour. And after we manage to get Bobby out, then we'll put a coat on him and a big hat.
Making it look as though the man is a friend who's been drinking too much. Does that seem too risky? No, it doesn't sound at all bad. The morgue is so well protected.
The whole thing's perfectly arranged. One of the two guards in there is a friend of mine. Money has a great power of persuasion, Joe.
Yeah. Well, you think it'll work. I hope you're right.
Listen, it's a great plan. It'll be easy. But look, you meet me as soon as you rent the carriage, exactly at midnight, in the alley that leads to the bridge near the morgue. You won't fail, will you? Just recall that you and I have worked months on our theory. Am I right? Is he all set to go?
Yeah, he's lying there on the slab like all the others. Come with me.
He's not decomposed, Benny.
His corpse is fresher than a head of lettuce. There he is.
Perfect. I'll be back in a minute with a friend.
Just a moment. How about the money you promised me earlier?
Of course.
Here you are.
Look. You better tell your friend to bring the carriage through the rear alley. I'm going to leave the door open, so it'll be easy to get the corpse out of here. But hurry and make as little noise as possible. The guard is walking around outside. If he finds you, I don't know anything about this.
Don't you worry about a thing.
My friend forgot to leave a lantern, and it's pitch black.
There's one in the carriage, and I'm going for it.
No, there's no time now. And besides, the watchman could come and find us here, you know. I think these are sufficient. Come on.
You better light another one. I don't have any.
No, that's not necessary. Let's get him out of here now.
Are you quite sure this is the one?
Don't talk so loud. Certainly this is the one. On second thought, I only saw him for a moment. I'd better check and be sure. Look. Hey! It's the caretaker, Joe.
Are you quite sure?
Yes, something strange is going on here.
Well, come on, Mike, or we'll be caught.
Hey, wait, there's someone in here.
Bobby the Whaler!
Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay there or I'm going to shoot. Stop, do you hear? Don't get any nearer.
Sure, he's my hand puppet. Just gave me a shamrock for St. Patrick's Day. Isn't that nice? Hey, thank you. Hey, Lefty, here. What am I doing? No, I'm looking over a four-leaf clover. Oh, boy, I love the old Irish songs, you know. Heck, Lefty's a pretty good singer himself. I remember this one time. He was doing, well, kind of a show for the Ancient Order of Hibernian Hand Puppets. Oh, yeah, boy, he sang Old Danny Boy. By the time he was finished, there wasn't a dry palm in the house. I left. Hey, he sings with great feel. Yeah, we'll get back to the movie in just a minute, okay? Okay. Ah, nah, it's beautiful, Left. Thanks a lot.
In the morgue. The morgue was a scene of a hair-raising event.
Tony, Papa, your chocolate's getting cold.
Just a second, Anna. I'll drink it, but I was listening to the professor. Go on, Professor.
Up until now, the police have been unable to explain the presence of the two students in the morgue. One student was found dead, unfortunately, and his neck had two strange wounds on it. As for the other student who was there and witnessed this blood-curdling drama, the doctors say his mind is gone. He's the only man who can shed light on the mystery that surrounds this crime, as well as the disappearance of the cadaver of Bobby the Whaler.
Do you think that Nostradamus is behind this whole thing?
You can be quite sure of it, Anna. The thing I'd like to find out is what he plans to do now.
I certainly do hope that I'm wrong, Anthony. But I'm afraid that the situation is getting quite critical. I think we had better get ready to hold out against two vampires now.
Now, try not to be afraid. Nothing is going to happen to you, young man. These people and I are only trying to help you, that's all. Can't you tell us who murdered your friend Michael last night? Don't you recall who your friend started to fire at last night?
You and your friend were there during the execution of Bobby the Whaler. But after that, in the morgue, who murdered the attendant?
Just a moment, Professor. Do you think that one of the students got in and strangled the morgue attendant because he refused to cooperate?
Oh, no. The autopsy revealed that the poor man suffered a bad heart condition that caused his death. Also, 2 small wounds were found on his neck.
If one of the two was killed, and this one here was captured completely crazy in the city morgue, how would you explain the disappearance of the cadaver?
That's the important part, and that's where the mystery begins, Doctor. And so we were hoping that he alone could give us more details to aid us.
And we're not expecting that he'll give us the complete information. I only mean that I'd like to have him fill us in on the things that happened last night in the morgue.
I saw him there. After the hanging, 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 I saw him there. After the hanging.
It's quite useless, Professor. You won't get anything else out of the boy. He repeats the same thing over and over again. That's all, John.
I saw him there. After the hanging, I saw him there. After the hanging, I saw him.
The second that lad was brought in here, it was quite clear to me that we could never effect a cure. It's certainly a shame, but he's completely mad.
I'm sorry to hear you say that, Doctor. He's the only one that could have solved this mystery.
In spite of that, he's being submitted to a new treatment, and we know that in some cases it's turned out favorably.
I'm grateful for your cooperation. Should anything else happen, don't hesitate to let me know about it.
Certainly. Just a moment, Professor. Why so much interest in this case? I'm curious to know, sir.
Doctor, if we were to tell you, you'd place us in an isolated cell.
Good afternoon, sir.
Disregard my point of view a minute and try to understand that we all appreciate and we all respect Professor Dolan. But this institution is trying to succeed, so we must refute all these absurd stories concerning vampires.
Well, but you know what happened in the morgue the other night. You try to explain it.
Wait, Anthony. You know our committee has an important job to do. To investigate the origin of superstitions and fight against it. It's something we're all pledged to. And we're not going to mix into police cases now.
But this case has certain aspects that the police totally ignore. 2 men are dead, but no one can present any clues. And besides, another one is insane. And we saw teeth marks on 2 cadavers. Doesn't all this indicate anything?
Nothing. Nothing you can say can make us change our minds about it.
Very well. Obviously, it's useless to try to convince you. But there are other ways to get you to realize that there is a vampire. I'll continue fighting your stubbornness until you admit it.
Do you suppose he's telling the truth?
The boy is so convincing that at times I begin to feel that they're not hallucinations.
I know exactly what you mean, my friend. So maybe they're not as crazy as we thought before.
Follow that man.
Yes, sir.
is the commander. This is the commander's official fan club membership card. Yeah! Oh, yeah, the printer got them in. Hey, look how groovy they look. Hey, this is terrific, boy. Hey, and this isn't any just sleazy kind of picture, you know what I mean? Heck, this is a real fan club membership card. Hey, how would you like to get one? Well, sure you can. Oh, yeah, you can get the official thing. All you gotta do, see, is send a self-addressed, stamped envelope to Commander USA Fan Club, Post Office Box 3966, New York, New York, 10185. Okay? Hey, it's great, and as soon as you get it, you want to sign the back, okay? So you don't want somebody else getting your privileges, do you? Heck no. Let me see here. There we go. Official. All right? Yeah, sure, look at the back of this thing here now. Yeah, no, this is no cheap piece of work here. This card says that you are certifiable. Yep, certifiable as a member of the Commander USA Fan Club. Okay? So just send your request in as soon as you can. Hey, if you already sent in a request, don't worry. I'm working as fast as I can to get them out to you, okay?
You were following me just now. Tell me what's going on.
Am I correct in assuming that you were working for Professor Dolan?
Yes. Now answer the question.
For several days now, I've been watching every move you've been making. And I think we could learn to cooperate quite efficiently.
I don't know what you're saying. Cooperation?
I'm suggesting that we join forces in the struggle against Nostradamus.
You know that.
That and a lot more. But I don't intend to explain any more as long as you keep pointing that revolver. So put it down and hear me, young fellow.
Very well. But I want to hear the whole story.
Take us to the park, Samuel.
Yes, sir.
I have a lot of things to tell you.
But, Professor, I tell you the man's no fool. He speaks of vampires and their families as only an expert can.
I really don't know what to think, Anthony. This whole thing makes me a little suspicious, that's all.
But I think his motives are very clear. He's also trying to destroy Nostradamus.
Isn't it conceivable that this man is Nostradamus himself?
No, Professor. I don't think he has any necessity of using such methods. Anyway, the man says he's willing to prove that he has power against vampires.
And just who is this man? Do you know where he gets his power?
His name is Igor. When he began to tell his story, he explained that he is the last descendant of Count Craddock, who was the first man to exterminate vampires in the 13th century. He said that all his male ancestors dedicated their lives to this struggle. And the most surprising fact is, they're invulnerable to attacks by vampires.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I think I did read about this Craddock family. Well, I'd like to know this man and find out exactly why he's here.
He explained that he came to try to track down Nostradamus. But later he learned of your interest, and he offered to collaborate with us.
Well, maybe we could locate his house. Have you got that information?
Yes, Professor. I promised that I'd speak to you and persuade you to go along with me this evening.
Fine.
Well...
Wait right here. If we haven't come out of the house within an hour, I want you to go straight to the police.
I understand, sir. I was waiting for you, sir. Go right in.